Hello, I'm Dan Rather, and welcome to the CBS Evening News online edition. Just ahead, a CBS News exclusive. Inside an Iranian nuclear facility. Are they hiding anything? You'll be able to judge for yourself as we take you inside. Also, the road to Fallujah. U.S. and Iraqi troops have been preparing on again, off again for a major offensive. Where is it now? And global warming. It's real, but who's to blame? Where the presidential candidates stand in the CBS election series, what does it mean to you? It's all starting now on the CBS Evening News online edition. One big issue the next president will face is what to do about Iran and its suspect nuclear program. Today, Iran refused to suspend a uranium enrichment project that could yield the makings of atomic weapons. Iran insists its nuclear goals are all peaceful and sought to back that up by showing off its main nuclear facility southwest of Tehran. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer was the only American reporter to make that reporting trip. Here is her exclusive report.
For the very first time, the Iranian government opened this nuclear complex to a group of journalists. Research director Manusha Madadi is eager to reassure the world he's not trying to build a nuclear bomb.
Oh, that's not true.
It's not
this is our, not weapons, only research works.
But old habits die hard. Even though we've been invited to tour the plant, security men repeatedly tried to stop us filming. These cooling towers and miles of pipes are processing normal water to create heavy water, a coolant for nuclear reactors which can also be used in medical research, and potentially a step down the road to making an atomic bomb. The existence of this heavy water plant was a closely guarded secret until 2 years ago, when an Iranian opposition group revealed that it was part of a whole network of clandestine nuclear facilities. Only then, when they were forced into the open, did the Iranian government allow international inspectors inside. In all, the inspectors found more than a dozen nuclear sites, including reactors with the capacity to enrich uranium or produce plutonium, both basic ingredients in nuclear weapons. Faced with the evidence, the Europeans insisted Iran stop making fuel for its reactors in return for trade and technology concessions.
This package which European has presented is not balanced.
The bottom line is the world wants you to say we won't enrich uranium.
If this is the bottom line of Europe and America, I'm pessimistic to reach it to a conclusion.
This is a high-stakes game. If Iran does leave the Vienna talks, it could face UN sanctions. The risk then is its leaders may decide to go it alone so they can continue to expand their nuclear complex beyond the scrutiny of foreign eyes.
The presentation and site visit is enough. Thank you and bye-bye.
Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, Iraq, Iran.
Another American soldier in Iraq was killed today when a bomber riding a motorcycle attacked a U.S. convoy. With Iraqi elections still set for January, there are new indications a U.S.-led assault will come soon against a main center of resistance, Fallujah. CBS's Kimberly Dozier has the inside story.
An army on the move, and the clearest sign yet that coalition forces are bracing for a showdown in Fallujah. British troops from southern Iraq are now taking up positions near Baghdad, freeing American combat troops to head west, reinforcing the Marines, who are expected to spearhead any assault against militants. A senior U.S. Embassy official tells CBS News that if the Iraqi government gives the Americans the green light, U.S. forces will follow what they call the Najaf and Samara model, a combined American-Iraqi assault on Fallujah, followed by rapid economic aid. The official says up to 5,000 Iraqi commandos will take the lead, especially in sensitive areas like mosques. American jets already pound Fallujah almost daily, but a looming ground invasion does not seem to be deterring the militants. Followers of Abu Musab al-Zarqawi have seized a new hostage, a Japanese man they're threatening to execute.
They want to withdraw the Japanese troops from Iraq or cut my head.
The Americans call Fallujah and neighboring Ramadi terrorist central, source of car bombs and constant conflict. U.S. officials say they can't allow Zarqawi and others to use violence to keep the predominantly Sunni Muslim towns from voting in Iraq's January elections. A senior American official here says if the insurgents can keep Sunnis away from the polls, their leaders will likely be left out of the new government. And that would give the militants a rallying cry to draw more of Iraq's Sunni minority to their cause. The battle for Fallujah is a defining moment. Either U.S. and Iraqi forces make the Sunni triangle safe enough to vote, or the militants succeed in derailing democracy before the first ballot is cast. Kimberly Dozier, CBS News, Baghdad.
A top government scientist is accusing President Bush of suppressing evidence that human activities contribute to dangerous global warming. NASA's James Hansen says scientific findings on the environment are, quote, screened and controlled by the Bush administration. So, what do candidates Bush and Kerry say about global warming? CBS's Jerry Bowen has some answers in the Eye on America election series, What Does It Mean to You?
Top of the world, Barrow, Alaska is a tiny window on global warming. Average temperatures are up 4 degrees in the past 30 years, reaching the upper 60s in the summertime. Houses are sinking in the thawing permafrost. The nearby Arctic ice pack is shrinking. As village elders say, it's just too warm.
So I hope you understand what I say.
Too hot.
Too hot.
Much of the warming is natural, but scientists contend the balance has been tipped dangerously by an increase in man-made heat-trapping greenhouse gases, industry emissions to auto exhaust.
So the warming trend itself may be a natural thing, but the size of it is being affected by people.
Computer climate models predict the warming will trigger a range of calamities, more intense hurricane seasons to droughts. Britain's chief science advisor says it's a greater threat than terrorism. Both U.S. presidential candidates agree the Earth is getting hotter, and they've had one heated exchange on whether an international treaty would have any effect.
They pulled out of the global warming, declared it dead, didn't even accept the science.
Well, had we joined the Kyoto Treaty, which I guess he's referring to, it would have cost America a lot of jobs.
Instead of a treaty that would put limits on industrial production, the president offers a complex proposal to cut what he calls the intensity of greenhouse gases, though his own campaign's calculations indicate overall emissions would actually increase. President Bush also insists science can't definitively link man-made carbon dioxide emissions to a warming planet.
It's just coincidental that the Industrial Revolution has come along at the same time and is putting all this extra CO2 into the air.
Tempe, Arizona's Sherwood Idso is among the handful of scientists whose views mirror those of President Bush.
Man is not a factor.
I believe that, or if he is a factor, it's a much, much smaller factor than what the climate alarmists are suggesting.
But the president's own panel on climate change issued this report this year acknowledging the human impact on warming, a view shared by the majority of the world's scientists.
I'm going to be a president who believes in science.
And Kerry pledges to, quote, take the action required that will prevent harmful changes in the Earth's climate. But he offers few specifics. Global warming remains a difficult issue with no quick fix and considerable debate on just how it will affect America and the world. But it's a debate that's taking place largely outside the campaign of 2004. Jerry Bowen, CBS News, Tempe, Arizona.
More stories are just a click away. But don't forget to join me on television for the on-air edition of the CBS Evening News. On Thursday's broadcast, America's Hunters and Fishermen. If you think they always vote Republican, you may be surprised at what our election series, What Does It Mean to You, has found. For CBSNews.com, I'm Dan Rather.